I will show you a common example of a custom field for social media. Let's say I want to calculate the post engagement rate. To calculate post engagement rate with Instagram, for instance, I need to divide my post engagement by my post impressions. I will click on this table that connects Instagram Insights and I will select this field because our connector already brings it. But what about if it didn't bring it and I want to have this metric? I will go to add metric, add calculated field, and I will call it engagement rate. Now the formula will be the summatory of post engagements divided by the summatory of impressions. What else? I need to change the data type. Instead of a number, I will use a percent and I will click on apply. And this will create a new column with this field, with post engagement rate, but that I just calculated. I will see you in the next class about custom fields on Looker Studio. How to calculate your conversion rates on Google Looker Studio. It is actually a quite hard question, not because it is hard to calculate, because it is a simple division, but because of the meaning of what a conversion is for you. Let me show you. Let's say I want to calculate the conversion rate on my website with GA4 traffic. I will divide key events by total sessions. This number in this example doesn't make sense because the conversion rate cannot be more than 100%. I will click and I will show you what is the formula here. If I click here and I will hover on this field, it will say fx, like function. I will know that this is a custom field I just created. I will click on it and I will show you the formula. The first thing I want to show you is that creating a formula or a metric on Google Looker Studio is as simple as doing it on a Google Sheet. And the formula for conversion rate with GA4 data in this case is dividing key events by sessions, and the data type is a percentage. That's everything. But this question is harder because sometimes my conversion data is not in the same data source. Let's say I am an e-commerce store. It turns out that my actual purchases or conversion data is on Shopify, but my traffic is in GA4. How do I solve this? I will select the orders from the Shopify data source and also will select the traffic from GA4 data. I will do a right click and I will click on blend data. Automatically, Looker Studio will take these two fields and it will calculate its own conversion rate. It is already dividing them. So this is super interesting because they recognize those fields. Now, it is orders divided by sessions. So on my Shopify store, if I take orders as my conversions, it will be 15%. Now, another way to express my conversion rate is not by events over sessions. It can be also by customers over actual users or traffic measured in an individual aggregation. That was very nerd to say. Instead of using sessions as metric, I will use total users in GA4. Anyways, I will do the same exercise. I will select customers from Shopify and total users from GA4, right click, blend data, and this is another way to calculate your conversion rate. And the third way is if, for instance, you have a B2B business or you have a CRM, maybe you want to take the conversions from that data source, from that source of truth. So I will select the totals created deals or the contacts or the companies. I will select it with the traffic from GA4 data and I will blend the data. And I think you already know how this process works. Here's how you can calculate your conversion rate on Looker Studio and how to answer that very hard question because you can take any of your conversions available across all your data sources. Let's imagine you are creating a custom metric on your report, and for every chart that you need to create, you need to add this metric manually. This is the example of this table where I created a field that is called hold rate. Hold rate, by the way, on Meta Ads and Creative Analytics is the percentage of impressions that end up into an actual video play or through play. So what I needed to do, I will show you an example. Let's say that I want to create a new chart. I will bring a scorecard and I will bring amount spent or ad spent. What about if I want to add hold rate again here? I will need to change or to add the field manually. So I will go back to the table, I will copy and paste the formula of the hold rate, and I will paste it now in this scorecard. This is useful because anyways I have my hold rate here, but I will need to repeat this process for every chart I create. What about if I create a new custom field from the data source so I can use it whenever I want in all my charts as long as I am using this data source. I will show you an example of what I am talking about. So I will go to Resource, Manage Ad Data Sources. I will use the Facebook Ads connector that has 23 charts. I will go to Edit, and I will add a field and a calculated field. So this calculated field will work at the data source level, not at the chart level, which is way more useful. So add a calculated field, and I will call it again hold rate. The formula of hold rate, as I told you, is the division of 3-second video views on Meta divided by the total impressions. So I create this field and I will click on save, and I will go back to edit the data source. If I dismiss this message, if I search hold rate, now I will find this custom field with the function. It is a custom field. The type will be, instead of number, I will make it a percent or a percentage. I will click on done, I will click on close, and now this field is available in this data source and I can use it across all my charts. I will show you an example. I will click on add a chart, I will select a scorecard, I will paste it right here, and instead of this field, I will use hold rate. And you can see it becomes a percentage automatically. Now I will do it in this table. In this table, I have my formula that I created manually. I will remove it. And instead, I will type hold rate, and it will bring this field automatically. This is beautiful. This will save me a lot of time, and I hope it also saves time for you. See you in the next lesson. Here is a great example of custom fields on Looker Studio. This time, I will count the number of characters on a string or a text. In this example, I want to count the number of characters in my website page title, because I want to spot some titles that are maybe too long and Google will crop them. The general rule says that Google will accept no longer than 60 characters titles. So I want to spot the ones that are a little bit longer so I can change them later. Here, what I want to do is I will show you what I created. I call this tool the page title length checker. Of course, this is just something I just made up. But in this table, I created a field that is called characters that will count the number of characters of this page title. How to create it? It is super simple. You will select the metric I created, and the function is length. I simply use the function length with the title or the text I want to count, and that's everything. With this data, you can spot those pages that are maybe too long. Most of my pages in this example are good, have a good number of characters, but these ones in particular are longer than expected. And this is how you can spot pages with too long titles, and this is an example of custom fields with the length formula on Google Looker Studio. Here is another example of the length formula on Google Looker Studio. I would like to do the same exercise, but with ads. Sometimes my titles are too long and my copy is too long. The general rule for Facebook is that my title should be no longer than 40 characters and the copy should not be longer than 125 characters. The formula is super simple. It is the same as in the past with our page titles. I will simply select this table, and the formula of the ad length will say, please count with the length function the ad title number of characters. That's everything. And the same formula with the copy. With length, I will take the ad text. And with this, you can spot what copy, what titles or headlines are longer than expected. I will show you another example of custom fields on Looker Studio, this time with a date formula. I would like to know the date difference between today and the last date of a purchase for a particular customer. This will help me know the recency of these clients. Some customers purchased the last 5 days ago, so they are better customers because they are more recent. However, there are some other customers who have purchased in the last year, and I would like to know that. I will show you how to calculate this metric. So I already did it. I will show you the formula, and the formula will be date difference, that is the function. Today is the first date and the second date is the last order date. I will create this formula again so you can follow it for your own. I will go back and I will add a new field, and this new field will be called days since the last purchase. And the formula is super simple. First, the function. The function will be date difference, and the first date that I will compare is today. This is another function because this updates automatically based on today's data. And I will take the field from Shopify, which is the last order date. I will put it right here. I will click on apply. I will close this modal with the field. And now Here you can calculate how many days have passed since the last purchase of every customer with your Shopify data.